power imbalance.
And the idea of demystifying therapy is one that I am very passionate about.
Great.
And on that note, let's demystify a bit of therapy.
Okay.
And move into a segment of therapy together where I sit in the client's chair. This is now the client's chair. And you become my therapist for a little while, about 10 minutes. And I'll just do a little time check as we start. And yeah, the aim of this is to demystify therapy in general. I think a lot of people wonder how therapy could be different to talking to a friend or how a therapist could possibly, people have often said to me like, I just don't really see what a therapist could come up with that I haven't already thought of. I've thought about this for endless hours and from every angle. And so I have wanted to do this in the podcast to just give people a bit more of a sense of what therapy in general is like.
Yes.
And, of course, today what therapy with you is like. And, of course, this is one little section. It doesn't do justice to the long-term relational incremental work that we do as therapists, but it is a taste of therapy and therapy with you. So I'll just settle myself in as a client. And I didn't know what I might talk about today, but even in our initial chat so far, this idea of laziness really resonates with me, and that I keep getting surprised that everyone around me thinks I'm working very, very hard, and I think like, yes, I am, but I feel like I feel like I'm not productive, so I feel a bit emotional when I say that I'm not productive, so I have to work harder. So even though, my sisters are like, can you close your computer and just stop working? And I'm like, oh, no, I can't because I've just got to do this. But I kind of have this belief maybe that it's because other people might do this faster. So I do have to work harder, but it's because of my own failing. So the laziness. And, I'm not really an anxious person that's like, oh, I can't sit down until the house is tidy. No, like that is not me. Yeah, I can be very lazy. There's all kinds of conflicts that come up when I say that.
When did the idea of lazy first come into your life, do you think? Like, when would you have first been aware of it growing up or in your home, in your school environment? Where did lazy become an idea?
I know I wasn't a lazy kid, and I never thought I was a lazy kid.
So how did you know that you weren't lazy as a young child?
I just didn't stop really. I was feisty, I was active, I was a farm kid.
Yes.
I just wanted to be doing stuff all the time. We weren't allowed to watch TV, but I don't even really remember wanting it. I just wanted to be out with animals and, doing stuff.
And who was around you at that time when you were a little kid, just feisty, active, running around the farm?
There were always people around, but I do picture myself alone. Yeah.
Were there particular animal companions, or it's just all of them all the time?
Birds and horses particularly. Yeah. They were my favourites, and slightly embarrassed, but I used to like wish I could find a bird with a broken wing. Like I
Of
just
course, because
desperately
then you
wanted.
was going to be.
Yes, that would
I,
be
I
me.
hear you. Yeah.
I would literally go out and like look for a bird. I can remember bringing like various fledglings home going, this bird can't fly. And Mum and Dad are like, Laura.
Back in the nest. But what do you think it said about young you that you were so ready to tend to this little hurt bird?
Yeah, I think I wanted something that needed me. I think I wanted something to care for.
So care was a really important value for you as a little one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I really struggled with aspects of farm life. Like
Which
I
ones?
really just like killing animals.
Of course.
And my sisters just didn't give it a second thought. They were fine with it. But I was so I was so rattled by it. And
Because again, you thought that the broken wing was about now taking care, but in this case it was, no, there was another purpose for.
yeah. And the sheep, I just really struggled with the fact that they were going to be killed. Like it's all I could think about really when I engaged with them.
Yeah.
So I probably stayed clear a bit, whereas birds and horses,
Yes.
I knew no one was really going to shoot them. So maybe that's why I gravitated towards them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were sort of protecting yourself from that.
I think so. And I've never really, I never realised that. I did love the dogs as well, but they were, this is really brutal, but yeah, they might be shot too. Yeah. Which, it's so rough.
Yeah, you were exposed to this idea of violence when your little child self was quite happy with just cuddling animals and being close and connecting with them. So if laziness didn't come in there, what about starting kinder or school or?
No, I was really the same all the way through. And in school, I did my work super fast and finished.
Amazing. So primary school, fast.
Fast, fun, easy.
Yeah.
And then high school, it all sort of crashed a bit. I got to high school and realised I wasn't as smart as I thought I was in terms of like I was just normal, but I was used to feeling like clever.
Was the high school bigger than the primary school?
Yes, the primary school only had 30 children in the whole school.
Yep.
So pretty small pond.
Yeah.
And the high school was a big girls' school.
Okay.
So it was, I went from 30 children in the school to probably 1,000
Wow.
girls. Yeah.
That's a shock.
It was a big change, though I had my sisters there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a bit easier, but it was a big shift. And there was a lot happening at that time. We lost our family farm. That year, a lot happened.
So all this change.
Yeah.
And from, mostly hanging out with the animals to this little school of 30 children to this massive.
Yeah.
And you're all adolescents. So, woo. Do you remember how that struck you initially, what that experience was like, that idea of, I'm average here? What did that mean?
Oh, I was so ashamed. I was ashamed to be average, and I was ashamed that I thought I had been anything more than average. It was a shock. And I was used to feeling clever and maybe a bit superior. And then there was quite a crash, I think. And a lot changed at that time in terms of both of my parents' work changed. Our financial situation had changed massively.
Yes.
Which was really stressful, even though it was it was attempted to keep it from us, but the stress of it, we feel that anyway. Yeah, there's just a lot of change. And all at the same time, I'm going through puberty, my body's changing, my hormones are changing, my brain's changing. It is just a huge amount of change that, I don't think I was going to say I don't think I handled it very well, but I struggled is probably more accurate.
What did you do in that time to kind of try and navigate all of these changes and stresses?
It's hard to put into words what I did, but at the time it was understood as chronic fatigue syndrome. So I really crashed. I was exhausted, and that's where the laziness started to come in, because I was like, oh, why have I changed so much? And I feel emotional when I say that, why have I changed so much from this completely energized, feisty kid into a teenager who just doesn't want to do anything. And so when I look at that now, I'm like, oh, what we thought was chronic fatigue syndrome, was I depressed? Yes, probably. Was it I now have questions about ADHD. I'm like, was that part of what was happening? Probably. There's just a lot of things. I think I also, just kind of cut off parts of myself at that time, and I cut off the farm girl in me. I found it too painful to go back there. Lost my horse, and it's funny because I've spoken about this before, but it's interesting to realise just how much change there was.
So much.
Yeah.
And we can start to see that actually it was medical diagnostic terms put on you that actually started this idea that the problem was in your body. Yeah. Whereas in your environment, you were going through what any of us, I'm not sure I would have coped as well as just that. Who knows what I would have done. The idea that you lost your farm, your parents were so stressed, your finances changed, you lost your horse, you're in a massive high school where your identity is being reshaped again by your peers, your body is changing, and then you get this label that your body is chronically fatigued. Yeah. Whereas I would suggest your environment was quite chronically fatiguing of you.
Yeah. Oh, that's not something I've ever realised. And even when I've thought, okay, it probably wasn't chronic fatigue, it was probably depression because of everything I was going through, I was still locating it in me. I was still like, oh, I got depressed because I had a stressful time, not my environment was chronically fatiguing and fucking depressing, actually. Yeah, even to this day, I've been locating this in myself. And I think I partly did that because then it would mean that I could probably deny part of how difficult it was and not really face it. But also that I could have some kind of, oh, well, if it's in me, then I can change it kind of thing.
And then the experts can come in and give you recommendations or tell you things. The teachers can do because
take some dexamphetamines, you'll be right.
Yeah, you're the young person, and so of course you're like, well, the experts will tell me, okay, they've told me my body has this, now they can tell me what to do, and then I can work really hard with that feisty, active part of me to try and get on top of this. Do you remember in those times where you were so fatigued, where there was just none of that activeness, do you remember what you did to pass time or to just be in your life at that point?
Just reading.
There we go. We have a resistance. We can read. What were you reading? Do you remember?
I was reading so many junior fiction books.
The best.
About, Tomorrow When the War Began was a huge one.
Yes.
And also, it's interesting just to even think about this, it's also war-based, but junior fiction books about Irish resistance in Northern Ireland. I I was really identifying with the resistance in these books.
Yeah, the counter stories to this. We have people who, are being told that there's a dominant system that says you can't be that or you don't belong here. And there's the resistance and the rebellion to that. And in these books, often up against the odds. And if young people, the protagonists, not having access to the same power and knowledge and wealth and, but using their own inner compass to kind of guide them. So great choice, young you on those books. Well done. And so when did chronic fatigue and laziness talk to each other? Was it right away or did one become more an accusation of the other? You mentioned shame. Was it shame's accusation that it was laziness or?
Yeah, I think from the start, because I think I grew up around a lot of hardworking people.
Yes.
And like the kids I was friends with in primary school, they worked.
Yes.
Like I felt like an absolute princess compared to them. They worked like workers on their family farms and that wasn't expected of me. So when I kind of crashed, it feels like the only way to describe it. I had these questions about like, why aren't I doing anything? Why am I just lying around? Yeah, I think the laziness came in really fast.
And was it always shame that was accusing the laziness or was it a guilt or was it a judgment or was it a...
I don't know, to be honest.
If we were to call that problem story of you being lazy, would we say we'd name the problem story the accuser or what would be the...
Sort of like the disappointment or
Yes, so
something.
the disappointment comes in and says, you've crashed.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah. So we get the disappointment coming in here. And what was the disappointment trying to convince you? What were its tactics to convince you of laziness?
Yeah, it was like, sometimes you can do stuff.
Ah, there we go. So we've got an accusation of if you can do it sometimes, do it all the time.
You must be faking.
Ah, accusation of faking. Yep.
Yeah.
Cheeky disappointment. Any other tactics?
I think just criticism of, look at what other people are doing.
Comparison. So we did some comparison. Yeah.
Or, you're not actually sick.
No, like that person has this horrifying illness. Comparison's very persuasive.
Yes.
Got some persuasion. Were there times that you managed to counter disappointment and just be like, not right now?
I think just diving into the books really was my relief and my escape.
So when you were reading, the disappointment had to be quiet because you were now using your mind to be active.
Yeah, I'm in this story now. I'm
Yes.
not over there.
No, you can just hang out. Yeah, and if we were to send disappointment to its own support group, what do you think it would be working on in its own support group?
Yeah, like acceptance, I think. And I think it's a part of me that had beliefs about how I should be. And now I'm not holding up my end of the bargain kind of thing. Yeah. So, compassion. It would need to, I think it would work on compassion and acceptance.
And so if we popped the disappointment off to its support group now just to do its own work, we might close the curtain or doors. How does that allow you to look at your examples right now of, flipping open the laptop and people being like, not now, and you're like, but I have to, there's stuff to do. If disappointment does sneak out, we're just going to pop it back again.
Yeah.
But, doing its own thing, what would you kind of see now?
Yeah, I do see someone who works really hard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What are you seeing? What makes you know that it's hard work that you're doing?
Because I don't really know how I juggle being a single parent and working and trying to create something that I'm trying to create. And yeah, I have this, the disappointment sometimes is like, well, if you've got time to watch Love Island in the evenings, then you can't be working that hard, can you? Like,
And we say, thank you, back you go. Back you go. Thank you. Love the input. Yep, you've been there since yep. And then we come back. What does Love Island offer you?
Oh, it's what the books gave me, really. It's just like this, like, easy, light entertainment. Yeah. I mean, I'm fascinated about how people are in relationships and, yeah.
So we'll call it PD, professional development,
yes.
Love Island.
Very light professional development.
So very grounded in, yeah, okay. So we have this link back of these resistant skills that you still have. And the disappointment hasn't actually stopped you from doing those things.
No.
It might come around and we're like, hello again. But that resistance is there that allows you to just have time to just let your mind wander and to validate everything you're juggling and be impressed and kind of surprised and kind of in awe of what you're holding.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I am doing a lot, actually. Yeah. And I don't often, the only time I normally acknowledge that is when everything's too much and I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing a lot. But to actually do it from this place feels really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.